This episode is brought to you by Brewy, a coffee that nourishes your mind and body. Brewy is an organic coffee blend loaded with 6 adaptogenic mushrooms, so you can enjoy the benefits of superfoods while being fueled in your day-to-day life. To receive your Brewy discount code, tag a friend in this episode's coming soon post. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the UR Pod Usage Rate. Today we're going to be taking a look into our brothers across the ditch, the New Zealand Breakers. So we'll quickly run over the outs. They've got a few big ones.
They do.
So import's gone. They've lost all 3 of them.
And I think Jarrell Brantley was a very solid player for them, so that's got to be a big loss.
Yeah, almost was he a defensive player? Not defensive player of the year, defensive team of the year, if that's such a thing in the NBL. But an elite defender. They've lost Barry Brown Jr. as well. What do we think? Nah, bit of bye-bye.
Can you remember when he did that in
That's a Silver Dome. That's heated exchange. And then probably one of the best pick and roll defenders the league's seen in my memory, in your man,
James Harden-Parton. Derek.
So 3 massive outs there, along with Tom Vodanovic has gone to the Philippines. Jamal Brantley, do you reckon he's related to Jarrell? Never heard of him. Ryan Rupaire's obviously been picked up in the NBA. Yep. So
now, did you see that he was invited to the green room?
Yeah,
and he had to sit there till 43rd.
Yeah, that's
would you be getting nervous that you may not have got picked?
You'd be pissed off, I reckon.
I reckon you would be too.
You know what I always say though?
It's better than being pissed on.
Yes, better be pissed off than pissed on. Rob Lowe.
Melbourne.
Yeah, gone to Melbourne. Sam Timmins, Isaac Davidson. So the outs, obviously the big 3, the imports.
Yep.
They've kept a hold of Alex McNaught. And I don't think he'll probably contribute much again. Cam Glidden.
Yeah, well, isn't it fascinating that the last World Cup that we played at, Cam Glidden was on the roster? Yeah, I know, that's remarkable, isn't it? And when he was playing at the Bullets with Nathan Sobey, a bit of a 1-2 punch. But his career's really just taken a bit of a nosedive, hasn't it?
Yeah, he's been a very good player for a very long time.
Has,
solid
yes.
NBL player, but I'm surprised he's going around again, to be honest. But he was hitting the corner and
easy money.
Yeah. Not quite sniper, but
no.
Dan Fotu has been at the World Cup.
So's the next fella, hasn't he?
Yeah, Isaiah Liafa. Tell you what, he looked as crazy as I've seen a man look at the Silver Dome when Barry Brown was doing that.
Was he angry, was he?
Oh, mate.
Fired up.
Yeah.
Ready to go.
You know when you can just tell people's eyes?
Well, you can tell he's competitive.
Oh, bloody hell.
Can't you?
Yeah. So he'll be solid again. And Thomas Abercrombie.
One of the all-time names.
Yeah. One of the best New Zealand players in history.
He's definitely up there. He's been around forever, hasn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Has he played anywhere else other than New Zealand?
I don't think so.
In the NBL?
I don't think so.
He's a three-time
champ.
Yeah, he's been sensational. And still can do it.
Yeah.
Obviously, much more limited nowadays, but...
Yeah. I always find his shot real awkward looking. Like it's a real straight arms. And
it is. Yeah,
it's a funny looking shot, but very effective, obviously. So keeping a hold of those guys. Also, the coach, Modi Maor, sticking around.
Yep, and he is one of the better coaches in the league, in my opinion.
Do you think he should have won Coach of the Year over Adam Ford last year?
Yes.
Oh, I think so.
Yeah, it's a tough one. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
I think Adam Ford got a bit more media attention. Within the basketball circle in Australia.
Maybe people just predicted Cairns do absolutely nothing.
That's probably the more the reasoning.
New Zealand I don't know if anyone expected them to do what they did. Going to game 5 of a final series is pretty extraordinary, and they probably should have won it, to be fair. They were up, weren't they?
They were, they definitely choked. But the home ground advantage or home court advantage in New Zealand is something they've dreadfully missed the last couple of seasons, like COVID season. It was near not even worth them playing, honestly. It really wasn't. Where were they playing their home games? Out of Launceston. They played a few out of Lonnie.
Yeah, played a few in Lonnie, played a few at an empty MyState. I think they even played some out of John Cain in Melbourne.
See, there's no point, is there?
Nah, geez, they had a really rough couple of years.
So it was good to see. Not that I like the Breakers much.
No, I think the NBL's really missed a trick on a Jackie's Breakers rivalry. Battle of the Islands, I reckon it could be.
Could be.
Get to work on that. So the Inns, one of your favourites, Big Mango.
Yeah, Big Matty, huh? Yeah, solid player. Big good pickup after the loss of James Harden-Pardon. So definitely needed a big body inside.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Still don't think he's a starting centre.
You don't think he'll start?
I think he will, but I don't think he is in the context of how good the NBL is now. I don't know if he will have I think he's a little bit past that for the big minute type of players. I think he'd be more effective as a backup, but we'll see.
Yeah, I guess for them, they've probably spent their money in some other areas. Yeah. I know he had a pretty bad injury a couple of years ago, and then came into the NBL with Illawarra. I didn't think he was great.
No, he wasn't. No, he was. He had a good NBL 1, but couldn't quite translate it through to the next level.
But then he went over to Israel and dominated, and that's
pretty
not a bad league.
Yeah, pretty good league.
So I think he can be better than he was last year. I think he's a good signing.
Yeah, well, I think so too. I think, like I said, I think he's a very good NBL. I was just after his year with Illawarra, I was a bit surprised that he put that up. So
I expected a lot more from him.
Yeah,
with Illawarra, but Modi Mayowan has called him the most underrated player in the NBL.
Christ,
so
big call.
He's expecting big things. You would say by that. The next star, Mantis Rubstavicius.
That is a name.
I hope I pronounced that correctly.
Hopefully, there's no Lithuanian fans that will come at you for the pronunciation. If there's any Lithuanian listeners out there,
man, Big Z.
We apologise.
So
long, lanky guard, isn't he?
Yeah, 6'8".
Yep.
Lefty, can shoot it. Absolutely dominated the unders Euros.
Yes, I did.
He led the scoring at the Euros. So
that's exciting, isn't it?
Oh yeah, and he's on the board too. He's projected late second round.
Yeah, late second round at the moment. Yeah, so I've seen that as well.
So
hopefully improve the stocks. Good year.
Yeah. So they've had 3 or 4 next stars be drafted now. So 3 or 4 guys drafted. So they've obviously got something right there, and they've got guys that can come in and contribute to their program. So Dane Pino.
Southeast.
Yeah. Straight out of the Phoenix.
Yep.
What do we think about that signing?
See, that's another. I mean, again, another guy that's probably a bit of a journeyman now, but he still has a little bit to provide, I think.
Yeah. I think he's one of the better backup pick and roll defenders.
Yep.
He's really, really good in the pick and roll defense, isn't he? So I think that probably suits their style.
Yeah,
the way that they defend. So I think he's a big upgrade on Vodanovic.
Yeah, well, Vodanovic could be one of the most unattractive people in the world. No offence, because I'm no oil painting, but he's definitely not an oil painting.
Always comes back to Damien Peveril, was it, to play with Essendon? That's who I always think about.
Damien Peveril. Damn. Yes. No, that's a good footy grid name. Thanks, Uzi.
Yeah, no worries.
One I've forgotten about.
Finn Delaney.
That's
pretty exciting.
Big signing.
Real big signing. Does a bit of everything, doesn't he?
He does.
And I think that signing sort of came out of nowhere as well. He looked pretty comfortable over in Germany or wherever he was. And
big dollars, I reckon.
You reckon?
Yeah, to get him back.
He signed a 2-year. So
I reckon there's a bit of coin in that one, but
yeah,
good signing. Will be one of the high-end talents in the league.
Yeah. So he would start at the 4, you would imagine.
Yes. Yep.
3,
4. Yep.
The 3 or the 4.
Yep.
Yeah, and then a guy that he might be sharing some minutes with, Zolam Cheatham, the import.
Yes.
Also plays the 4 as well. So that'll be interesting, I reckon.
I'm familiar with that name. Is that an NBL name that has been before, or is this his first thing?
No, he's new, completely new. Averaged 14 points, 8 rebounds in the G League.
Yep.
He looks bloody powerful.
Okay,
Throws down some big ones. Could be a fan favourite, but they signed him prior to the Finn Delaney signing. I think.
Okay.
I think they weren't really expecting that name to come up.
And they've you've had to take it though.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, for me, that's a bit of a watch.
Yep.
In terms of how they manage that. We don't trust a bloke with 2 last names. Do we trust a bloke with 3 last names?
3 dads.
Parker Jackson Cartwright.
Deary me.
Or PJC.
That is a great name.
Jeez. He was very good to watch yesterday. I watched their pracky against Illawarra.
Yep.
And very herky-jerky sort of game. Kind of a little lefty. I think he's only 5'8" or 5'9".
Oh, wow.
But like we said...
we didn't need... Jordan Crawford's going to be absolutely dominate the NBL, so...
Yeah, short is just short.
Yeah, short's just short.
He kind of reminded me of a little campaign.
Okay.
Like, just very, like...
Yeah, right.
Lots of hezzy jab steps and...
Same type of jumper, or a bit more fluid?
Bit more fluid jumper.
Yep.
Got into the paint pretty well.
Good.
Sort of looked like he got a little bit lost on if he couldn't get a shot up where the pass was going. You know, you see a lot of guys...
he's a shooting guard.
Yeah, definitely. I think he'll really take that. Barry Barrett.
Yep. Well, Barry Barrett was like that last year, wasn't he? He took a lot of shots. Oh, effective.
Yeah, he took a hell of a lot of shots. That's just reminded me, we've missed one on the players they're holding. Will McDowell White.
Yes. Speaking, we have missed. Unlucky not to make the Boomer squad.
Yeah.
Obviously good. He's in that category now of one of our higher end point guard, traditional point guards. Obviously he was going to compete with Giddy and Mills, but
and Dyson Daniels.
Daniels, yeah, but one of the best local players in the league.
Oh, my mind's still blown who his dad is.
Oh, Daryl. Yes, no, Daryl is his father. Brisbane Lion legend.
Absolutely blown my mind, and I haven't been able to get over it in about a month.
Well, yeah, his son's actually named Daryl too.
Yeah.
His other one.
Darryl McDowell White.
Yep. Plays for Brisbane there.
I knew he was Will's brother, but I didn't know he was Daryl's son.
Yes. No. Daryl the glove.
Yeah. I actually think Will McDowell White has a game that would translate to the next level extremely well.
Are you talking NBA?
Yeah.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah. I'll rate him that much.
I'm high on him. I think he's got a way better jump shot than his statistics suggest. I reckon he's due for a big year.
Yeah, 100% agree.
I'm talking all NBL MVP contention.
Oh wow. Well, I guess if you look over the list, they've probably got. Nah, I don't think he'll be an MVP caliber. I think he can be, but I think their team is very even across the board.
He's going to be he's a star. Rated very highly.
Should he have won Most Improved last year, do we think?
I think so.
So
yeah, definitely. Yeah. And there could be another statistical jump this year to prove his case even more.
Yeah, if he starts hitting that shot when guys are going under, look out, I reckon. And straight into another shooter. Has played in the NBL before, Justinian Jessup.
Yes. Wow, I didn't realise they picked him up either.
Yeah, picked him up late.
Yeah.
Too, so obviously a really good shooter.
Yep. Spent some time with the Hawks.
Yeah. 2, maybe 3 years. Definitely 2 years at Illawarra. Formed a pretty formidable lefty backcourt with Tyler Harvey.
That's right, yep.
So I don't know where he fits in. He's pretty tall, long.
Well, I reckon he'll like playing with McDowell White.
Yeah. They hopefully they'll run some elevator screens for him.
Yes.
One of the great plays that doesn't get run often enough, I reckon.
The elevators.
Oh, it's awesome. That is the best way to get a wide open 3 in the game of basketball, I reckon.
It's a big call. Would you run it if you were a coach?
Bloody hell I would.
So you're bringing the whiteboard to the HA this year and Cowpaul setting some...
Jeez, he'd set a mean screen, I reckon.
Yes.
Then, on Jessup, I think my only concern with him is how he fits defensively. Modi Mayor will ride him that hard. I might be afraid to sit him.
Plays very little defense. Jessup, that's his one weakness.
Yeah.
But you're right. It's definitely going to be a really watch. This roster's kind of feels a little bit thrown together.
Yeah, I don't think it fits as well as last year's roster.
No, that's right. It feels like they've maybe expected players not to sign and they have signed, and just kind of a little bit messy. I think it's a good roster. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. I think it's a good roster, and with the ability to have the home court advantage they should be above the line in my opinion. But it just really depends though, because like you said, this roster, if they lose a few home games, of course it's not going to be hard to travel. That's a New Zealand team. That's just a given. But they could find themselves just out too. Who knows?
Yeah, I reckon.
It's an intriguing roster for me.
Yeah. Just one more guy, a development player, Carlin Davison. He really impressed me yesterday in their pracky. Bloody athletic.
Okay.
And can shoot the ball too. I don't know how many minutes he'll see in this roster. He's a long wing sort of operator. And there's obviously some pretty good guys ahead of him, but he looks like he's a guy that plays hard. I think they've got a good pickup.
That's good.
In that DP spot. So, in terms of rotation, we're probably looking at a starting lineup of McDowell White, Liafa, the next star, Rubster Vicious. It's a cool name.
It is, isn't
Rubster Vicious. I'm unsure, Cheatham or Delaney at the 4, or does Delaney start at the 3 and Rubster Vicious
start?
Delaney would have to start, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
So let's move the rubby man to the bench. So McDowell, White, Liafa, Delaney, Cheatham and Mathiang.
I don't mind Mathiang and Pennell as a budget centre combination. I think that's one thing they've done quite nicely.
They're going to play hard, aren't they?
Yes.
And then you've got 3 dads coming off the bench.
3 dads.
Former Boomer and Glidon, Tom Abercrombie, and then Rubster Vicious and Pino.
And you're not starting Jessup either?
Nah, I don't think he can start. He's probably ahead of Glidden though.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But so, Glidden as a 11th man is pretty naughty, isn't it?
It is, and especially because he's one of those instant impact.
Yeah.
You can run a play for him. He can get his shot.
It's like a poor man's Cole Corber.
Yes, very poor
just
man.
Runs.
NBL equivalent. That's a great call, actually.
Just runs around.
I don't mind that.
He does run a lot, but then he also just stands in the corner a lot. But so pretty deep team. You've got him sitting where above the line.
Well, I was just looking. I've got him in 4th at the moment.
Top 4.
No, sorry, 5th. I've got him in 5th.
So what do you got sitting where at the moment?
Well, I've got Melbourne. Wait, it's 5, isn't it? Or a 6 finals? 6. So I've got Melbourne.
Top 2 straight through, and then
I've got. Well, we haven't covered Sydney yet, but I've got Sydney, Melbourne. I've got Brisbane, and now New Zealand.
4 locked in.
Yeah, New Zealand are above the line.
Yeah, I think they'll be thereabouts. I think it's going to come down to a battle of the islands for one of those last spots.
Yeah, for me, it is a battle between Perth and Tassie for the last spot for me.
Okay. I'm gonna put the Breakers in. Above the line. I think they do have a bit of a funky roster in terms. I think if they can iron out those chemistry issues, I don't even know if to call them issues yet. But in terms of rotation, hopefully they haven't promised people too many minutes in certain places. I don't think Modi Mayor would be a guy that would do that.
No, he would be pretty honest.
So I think the key for New Zealand is starting well. I They've got to start the year well for me.
And just got to lock down that home court.
Yeah.
Start losing games there. It's going to be very, very tough to make them back.
No Hungry Jacks chant at the Spark Arena.
Why not?
They don't have Hungry Jacks there. It's Burger King there. Isn't that remarkable?
That is very remarkable.
Yeah.
That's something you just don't think about.
Nah.
So what do they chant? Burger King?
No, they don't chant anything.
So you don't get...
They just try and put people off. I don't know if they get anything for...
Sort your shit out in New Zealand. Seriously.
Can't happen, can it?
That's the only reason I'd go.
It is one of the absolute greats. When I went to Adelaide and got the free cheesy burgers and I had all those free beers because they had to change the keg over and they weren't cold enough. And I reckon I spent, even though I got me free cheesies, I reckon I spent about $40 at Hungry Jack's on Hindley Street that night.
Well, yeah, in Hindley, I've been to Hindley Street way too many times, and yes, you always end up spending way too much money. I lost my voice at Hindley Street, like proper.
Yes, you did.
Proper lost
you actually
my voice.
sounded like a 10-year-old girl.
I sounded like actually Patty and Zelma of The Simpsons.
Yes, yes, you did. Classic. Righto, we'll leave the breakers there. Both got them above the line. And next up, we'll be heading on the biggest road trip from New Zealand over to WA into the jungle. So everyone,